Good afternoon, everybody. We are going to go, we're going to do the weekly roundup. And last time, it ended up actually encompassing 3 weeks before. Of course, it wasn't the entire month. We didn't try to do any estimates or guesstimates. It was just basically to get a feel for how we wanted to do this going forward. So this one right here will actually start with March 5th because declaration date was March 5th. Therefore, I expect that they use the data through the 4th, through COB on the 4th to calculate the data for the distribution. Therefore, I am picking this up on the 5th, so this does say week 10, but it is only going to be for those 4 days that I think would be what Yieldmax uses for their next distribution as their guide, of course, because we all know that regardless of what their income actually was that month, they can pay whatever they want. And sometimes, with some of these anyway, not all of them, but they have like this yield that they try to hit every month regardless, which is great, right? Because you're wanting it to be steady. But some of these, they're still not like that. It could be 40 cents one month and $2 the next month. So I don't know if it's a case-by-case basis or how they started or how they determine. But anyway, we will just move on with what we have right here. So if you did not see last week's, because I know we have a lot of new members, you will see, we'll break this down obviously by each covered call named ETF. We have it broken down by the day, and then we'll have the week total, and then we'll have the total summary at the bottom. Of course, in this case, the dark blue lines here are going to equal the same as these because we only have 1 week so far. So I guess technically what I could do to make this a little better, and I can maybe zoom in a little more for you and still keep everything on the page for the same. There we go. Next time, though, we would have that dark blue line because it's going to add up the previous 2 weeks. So we'll go ahead and get started. And so you'll see the daily, and then on the yellow line is going to be our weekly. So we have our weekly total for the short call for AIYY. We've received, or we earned 532K. And then as far as the synthetic goes, we got about 120,000. Together, we're looking at about 651,000. And if we go to the bottom, I have those two broken out again by the short call and synthetic. And then I'm going to have the outstanding shares. And then for the per share calculation, it's going to be like the ulti one. But I don't think I have the ulti rounded, so I may need to go back and do that, but it isn't going to be a significant change there. So we have cell D281, so we have the income we made, and we have it divided by the outstanding shares, and then we just have it rounded by 4 because we know when they announce it has it to 4 decimals there. So we have that for both of them. We have that for the short call and the synthetic, and then we do like we do the sum above. This is how much it is total. I believe that Retire on Dividends has said before that they pay on the short call. However, you'll see when you go through here, sometimes the short call is actually the negative and the synthetic is where they made the money. So I personally don't know how or when they make those decisions and if there's anything set in stone as how they do that. But what we will do is I will read how much they made, and then I'll just go into down here. So per share for the short calls, we've got about 39 cents, made about 39 cents. And for our synthetics, we've made about 9 cents. So in total, we have made about 47 cents for AIYY. So now that we've sort of gone over that, now hopefully we'll be able to breeze through the rest of these. So we have AMDY. We have our short call earnings of 934K, and then we have our synthetic earnings of 124K with a total of $1,058,750. It looks like we earned about 21 cents per share for a short call, and then about almost 3 cents for a synthetic, for a total of 23 cents for AMDY. If we move on to AMSI, we earned $367,000 for a short call for the week, and it looks like we lost about $5,000 there on our synthetic. It's a possibility when something like that happens, it's because they had to close out some of the shares where people had sold, therefore they had no choice but to sell some of these synthetic shares, therefore having a loss, and sometimes vice versa. So anyway, the total there earned is $361,000, and per share for the synthetic, that's almost 15 cents, and it really doesn't even add up to anything for the per share for the synthetic. So we're still looking at about 14 cents there. Sorry, 14 cents total. Okay, we'll move on to Aptly. So we have our short call earnings about $452,000, our synthetic about $74,000, for a total of $528,000. That is about 15 cents a share for the short call, and 2.5 cents a share for the synthetic, for a total of about a little over 17 cents for Aptly. If we move on to Coney, if you recall, one of these days, the data, one, and I don't have it highlighted here. I have it highlighted. No, I did have it highlighted here. I'm sorry. And then I redid all my formulas, so anything I had highlighted is wrong. But I think it was this day that, again, there was something wrong with the file upload or whatever. And I wish I remembered and I still had it marked. But anyway, I think it was that it had to be that day that had an error on it for our files. Because, right, our data, my data on here is only as good as the data that I pull from the website, or if I even get the data from the website, right? So, but anyway, according to this, we lost $18.3 million on the short call, which is actually negative $1.29 a share, but we gained, we earned almost $86 million for the synthetic for Coney, which is about $6 a share. But those totaled is $67.6 million for almost, well, for $4.74 a share. Obviously, well, I say obviously, but who knows, but I would not expect them to pay that out. And also remember, we still have 3 weeks to go. So we will move on to Dizzo. Dizzo earned $44,000 for their short call, earned nothing for their synthetics. So overall, they earned 10 cents a share for Dizzo. If we go on to Phoebe, FBY, they earned $310,000 a share for the short call, which is about 14 cents. They earned about $309,000 for the short call, and which is about 14 cents a share. And then they earned about $1.4 million for the synthetic, which is about 67 cents a share, for a total of $1.7 million, of almost 81 cents a share. If we move on to GUI, they earned almost $97,000 for the short call. They did not have any synthetic income, and therefore it was about 6 cents a share for GUI. JPMO, we have short call. It looks like we have a negative 17,000, and then for the synthetic we have income of 197,000. So on the, well, we have it's almost 180,000 together, but for the share, for the short call, we have negative 4 cents, but for the synthetic, we have a positive 46 cents, so total it's 42 cents. If we go over to Murney, they earned $233,000 for the short call and no money for the synthetic. So the total is the total earnings per share is almost 23 cents for Murny. So then we have MSFO for the synthetic call, for the short call, they earned 148,000. For the synthetic, they earned almost 53,000, totaling 201,000. And the per share for the short call is almost 9 cents. It's 3 cents for the synthetic, for a total of 12 cents. And then we have the short call for MSTY, earned about 407,000, while the synthetic lost almost 603,000 for a negative 195,000. The per share for the short call is almost 86 cents. The per share for the synthetic is negative $1.27, for a total of negative 41 cents for MSTY. If we move on to MSTY, the short call earned about 227,000, which is about 10 cents a share. The synthetic lost about 30,000, which was about 1 cent a share, for a total of 197,000 income, and which is almost 9 cents a share for MSTY. And so if we move on to NVIDIA, I'm looking at this and it's like, really? So according to this, they've lost a lot of money. Well, they lost a lot of money on the 5th and the 6th. So that was NVIDIA, yep. So they lost over here that 3.3-ish million. And over here it shows that they lost 1.9 million. Sorry, I don't remember which tab it is here. Okay, yep. For some reason I was thinking this was a bigger number. So no, we have the 1.9, and then, of course, now that I think about it, I looked at the total trades and not individual, but when you add those up, it does equal that 3.3. Just wanted to double check, I know, but, you know, just in case. Okay, so, yeah, for this one, our weekly our short call income for NVIDIA was 130,000, but NVIDIA's synthetic lost almost 5.4 million, for a total of 5.25 million loss for the week. So they earned about 1 cent. That comes to about 1 cent a share earned for the short call, and a negative 49 cents for the synthetic, for a total of negative 48 cents for NVIDIA. So if we move on to OARC short calls lost 2.66 million and had no synthetic trades there. And then, let me make that bigger. So it looks like we lost a total of 51 cents a share for OARC. So if we move on to PayPay, we have the short call earnings of 81,000, the synthetic earnings of 46,000, with a total of 127,000. Oh, sorry. So our short call per share is earnings are 13 cents, and the synthetic is 7 cents, for a total of 20 cents per share for PayPay. If we move on to SQY, they earned 344,000 for their short call, and they had no synthetic trades. And then that equals up to about 24 cents per share in earnings. And then if we go to Tesla here, We have earnings of almost 9.3 million for the short calls and no earnings for the synthetic, which totals about 20 cents per share. The sheets will not let me scroll over anymore. But okay, we have the Zomo is the last one here. And now that I think about it, well, I guess we don't need YMAG and YMAX on here, so we just have the 19 ETFs, covered call ETFs here. But we have the short call here for Zomo, which lost 471,000, and then the synthetic had income of 561,000 for a total of almost $90,000 there. So per share for the short call was a loss of almost 61 cents, and the synthetic was a gain of 72 with a total of 11.5 cents per share. So hopefully, I know, again, this is what we did last week. We just did it over 3 weeks. So here we've just done it for the past week. Let me know what y'all think about this. If you like having this roll up and then seeing all of these totals for every single one of these ETFs like this. And I hope y'all have a great week. Have a good day.